everybody. I'm Max Ziegfeld. I'm here with Paul Cruz, and our guest today is my dear friend, 6-time Emmy winner, Miss Heather Tom.
Hi.
Cheers. Welcome, Heather.
Hey, everybody.
Hey, everybody
We're
at home.
socially distanced.
Socially distanced, exactly.
Yes, very
and socially lubricated. How's quarantine doing, Heather?
Well, it was a lot, but we are back at work. We've been back at work for a while, and I'm so grateful to be going to work because I for a minute there was like, I have to get out of the house. I would literally get in my car and just go drive somewhere because I just had to I had to leave the house. And I did not leave the house. I honestly didn't go anywhere for like 2 months. And then I would get my car someplace. And then my husband did all the grocery shopping. We had stuff brought to the house. We didn't do anything. And so we actually then we get in the car and go someplace, or we would, hike when they opened up the hike trails and stuff like that. Didn't do anything until I went back to work, and now I'm back at work, and it's pretty well. It's very different, but we've fallen into a rhythm, and we're making it work. Yeah.
Well, sorry. Well, maybe we'll just jump into that because I think that's really fascinating. It's like you were the very first show to go back to work.
We were the very first show.
Very first show.
It was a big deal. We had a lot of attention. We definitely were the guinea pigs. I think people were kind of looking to see what we did. Our production staff was amazing, especially Ann Whitman, who does all of our business affairs, but she really threw herself into it. The day we went down, Brow, who's our boss and who's God, basically,
Commander-in-Chief.
Commander-in-Chief. He was like, how do we back up running? As soon as they open up the state, as soon as they open up the county and the city, how do we back them up and running? And they went to work the day we went down to figure out what a protocol was going to be, how we go back and stay safe within the parameters of the guilds, listen to the guilds, of course, city and county. We listened to all that. And then we actually kind of went above and beyond as far as our protocol. And, it was definitely a learning curve, but I kind of feel like our genre the daytime genre is actually uniquely suited to do something like this because we're used to working really hard under, extreme conditions. We're used to basically just making it work. And, and that's what we've done. We've fallen into a rhythm. I feel safe, and, we're all looking out for each other. We've also worked together for 30 years. So we really, we want to take care of each other. And I think that helps too.
Oh yeah. So what special stuff did you have to do?
We're all in zones. And so the actors are all in zone A, and then we have zone B and zone C, and the zones never cross over. We're actually at this point doing our own hair and makeup. I'm hoping that changes soon. Because that's very special. And also just because I feel like we're, I do my own hair and makeup in real life, and I actually do my own makeup on the stage because I've done it since I was 15. But the people that we have hired, this is their trade. It's what they do. They're proud of it. They're very good at it. They win Emmys for it. And I think that, to have the actors doing it is just, it's just service to them. And I think that it doesn't make, it doesn't represent the show in the best way, but we're doing it for safety right now. And I think that's going to change. But we were tested twice a week because we work 4 days a week. So if we work 4 days a week, we're tested twice a week. Our temperatures are checked 3 times during the day. Once when we go into the building, every time we go into the set, our temperature is checked. No one's allowed in our dressing rooms except for us. We have a special place to run lines where they have this shield, this plexiglass shield.
Oh my gosh.
We joke because it feels like Midnight Express. Try, and I'm just I mean, like, yeah, it feels like prison.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Well, I hope there's not a cavity search.
Yeah, I know. But it works. You know, I mean, like, it works. We're making it work. We're using doubles, like spouses and mannequins for like.
Yeah, I heard you're using You're acting with a sex doll.
We actually have Brittany now. Don't be nice to Brittany. She's not just a sex doll. She's a a plastic entity.
She's in the union.
So she's like, so yeah. And the crazy thing is that our executive producer, or not executive, one of our producers had to go find her. And like, this was part of his
like in an
job
alley? Where find her? Where did someone borrow her?
Find her, a sex doll, and he like went downtown to like this warehouse where they have all the models, and
oh my God.
And he found Brittany and he brought her back to the studio, and I have to tell you, her work is stellar. So,
wow.
Very like, very she just like she really she really brings it.
So this is your double? Is this your double?
No, we mostly use her for like if you're shooting maybe across her, like shooting legs like under a blanket or something like that, or in the back of her head or something. We're really trying not to use like the mannequins and stuff like that. Because it's we're trying. We brought in spouses and things like that. I imagine couldn't.
Oh, wow.
Like I couldn't do it, but we're making it work, and it looks pretty good, and it still feels like our show. It still feels, we have romance and and all.
How do you shoot love scenes safely?
So they shoot them either with a spouse, like where they don't really see the spouse. They might just see like a slice of the spouse when they're kissing, and then they have like close-ups of like hands, like on the back or something like that. So they do a lot of cuts. They're doing things where they shoot things through scrims. We're getting creative, I mean, like I'm hoping to have a show to direct this month, and so I've been observing how they do it. We've also been doing split screens, because on our show, and this is not going to be true of all shows going back, but on our show, if we have our masks off, then we are 8 feet apart. So we don't get any closer than 8 feet apart. And so clearly kissing love scenes are, we have to get creative. And then even if you want somebody like in the same shot, like standing side by side, or like a closer shot, like, over a shoulder, then you put it's not like a mannequin, it's like more like a dress form. You put the dress form in and you shoot them, and then you flip it around, and then you put it together in post. So you split screen it, and it looks like they're in the same frame.
So you edit you like sew it together so they're closer together.
Yeah.
So I heard that Denise Richards' husband was standing in for her love interest.
Yeah, and like honestly, what's funny, he's a really good stand because he kind of has the same hair.
Oh, does he?
Okay. He has like the same build, and even like if you're just getting like this much of their face, right? You're not really getting you're really seeing lips, and then you'll see Denise or whoever on this side. So the camera's over here, and you'll see her, and she's right here. So you'll see her, and then you'll just see like this part of him. He works really well. Now, my husband.
Yeah, I was going to ask you.
I like him very much, and he's very attractive. But
we have the same haircut. He's gorgeous.
Ping pong ball. Yeah. My love interest on the show has this like big black pompadour, hair, and all this stuff, and I'm just like,
he's always had that.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I'm like, there's no way he would have to wear this like
wig,
pompadour wig. You know what? I'm not that good of an actress. Like I couldn't do it. Like I'm not that good. Like that's where like I would have to draw the line. So Yeah.
So what would you say was the number one most challenging aspect of shooting during the pandemic? I mean, I know you guys have it down to like a
I think
system
honestly,
now.
the hardest part of it is just relearning how to behave on set. So like we have a smaller crew on set, but like going like, okay, every time someone comes in to change a prop, everyone has to clear the set. And and we have to have our masks on until the last possible moment when they say rolling. And like, so just like it's just relearning how to be on set, because we're a cast and a crew. I've this crew since most of them I was 15 years old.
Yeah.
Right.
We're a cast and a crew that are very close.
Yeah.
And we are huggers, and we're like, so just kind of like really relearning how to be like that, and and being like a little bit more self-sufficient, because we don't have as much of a crew, and the actors are having to be a little bit more do more for themselves. And as directors, wearing a mask and a shield all day long is really it's hard.
Yeah.
I mean, like, it's not just annoying. It's like it's actually physically draining. Like, I find, when I wear a mask, it's physically draining. Now, that being said, everyone should wear a freaking mask. This is issue. It should not like this. It's proven to work. You suck it up and do it, because like you're protecting your fellow coworker and your family, and like I wear a mask for you, you wear your mask for me. So it's like it is, and we're all back at work, and we're also grateful to be back at work. So it's like it's something that you just do. But I'm also not gonna say that it's no big deal and that it's not easy. It is. It's it's something to really get used to.
So you mentioned,
but if some people get sick, the whole show would shut down.
Yeah. Yeah. So we have to take care of each other. And I think that, again, I feel like daytime is uniquely suited to do something like that, because we have such long relationships with people. And because, when I say that we're a family, I'm not it feels, I know these people longer than I've known my husband. I grew up with them, so I care about them. I want them to stay safe. I want them to stay healthy, and so I'm willing to be, to be safe for them. And I think that's unique about this virus in particular is that you're protecting yourself, but you really are protecting your neighbor. And like that's a hard thing for people to wrap their head around, that the actions you take directly affect your neighbor, your loved ones, your coworkers,
and your family. And if you were to come home to someone else who has a more weak immune system than you,
we have to think about other people, and and like most of the time you're just trying to protect yourself or your family, but like now we're actually really trying to protect the community. And I think that in itself is a shift in how we should be thinking.
Yes.
So I think it's been difficult for some people. Anyway.
Yeah.
That's super.
Well, it is difficult. Well, and now you're like, you have to be very careful because your mom is over 65. How old is your mom? Are we allowed to say?
She's 77. And she's also in nursing care. And so I see her, I try to see her at least twice a week, but seeing her entails like wheeling her outside, and we stand in the parking lot and like yell.
Well, we're all loud, so that's easy.
We're allowed. Yeah, we're allowed. We have giant heads, so there's a lot of resonance in there. But like, so, but yeah, that's kind of what it is. And it's hard. It's hard for her. It's hard for everyone there. They're like, they're safe.
They're isolated.
I feel like she's being taken care of, but she's kind of trapped in this prison. Like, like she's not able to go out. We're not able to take her out. And I think that's the hardest part, really, because Zane's been great. Like Zane, he's like, let's go see Henry. And like he stands there and like holds up his Legos and he's like, this is like the ninja, like toying
Oh, that's so cute.
He is. He's very, very cognizant of like making sure that he's seeing her because she's missing out on this, part of his life. And it's like, I think that's probably, honestly, I kind of feel like that's the hardest part of all this for us. So,
Well, earlier you mentioned directing episodes. When did you start directing, actually?
I started directing Bold and Beautiful. Gosh, I think it's been over 4 years.
Wow.
I mean, it's kind of not done. I think 26 episodes.
You went through a whole process.
How many?
Shadow, right?
Yeah. I shadowed for 6 months, and I like directing daytime. No joke. Like it's like throwing yourself into the fire. I mean, like it's high pressure.
Well, I was going to ask you, like, what has been the most difficult? Because you were talking about your acting experience on the show earlier, but what has been the most difficult transition as a director in this aspect since you started directing before the pandemic, obviously, and then now? I mean,
it's all changed. I mean, there's some things that are more straightforward, just in that you can't have a lot of pain. I mean, like you're basically, if it's a 2 scene or just talking, you're pretty much standing in the same place because you can't get close to each other. You can't really have too many camera moves. And so, but honestly, I don't really know that makes that much of a difference. We're still selling the scene. We shoot things a little bit closer so you don't feel like people are really far apart. Like long lens it so that compresses the shot and it makes them and so it's like there are certain tricks that you do. But I would say that like the intimate scenes are you have to think about them. They take you have to shoot both sides. We don't normally do because we have 3 cameras, so we just shoot all sides at once.
Right.
So it's just been it's a little bit more of budgeting your time.
Right.
And for a while there was a little bit more trial and error and like seeing like what's gonna work and what's good and what's gonna sell the moment. And I mean, daytime actors sell anything. So I'm not
I mean, you've had what's your craziest storyline? What's the craziest thing you've had to do as part of a storyline?
Well, I have no original parts. So my heart's a replacement, my kid plays it, so I had like crazy postpartum depression, I was hallucinating. And my sister keeps sleeping with my husband.
Like over and over and over. And you keep forgiving her.
Yeah, over and over again.
Like everybody's stuff.
Yeah, and I always thought that these were like crazy stories. Honestly, I get so much response from people who have had transplants. And they're like, cool. Oh my God, I went through this thing. And I'm like, oh, okay, well, this is great. And then I got this one fan response. I met them at this, crazy event that I was at. And she comes up to me and she's got this she's got her boyfriend or her husband or whoever's standing next to her. And she's just like, oh, can I have a picture? And I'm like, yeah, of course. And she takes my hand. She's just like, I know what you're going through. I'm going through this thing. My husband keeps sleeping with my sister. And I'm very sorry. And she's like, well, as long as the kids are okay, it's fine. And I'm like, and as long as the kids are okay, we're just fine. As long as the kids are okay. And I'm looking at this guy standing next to her, smiling, she's just it's totally normal. And I'm thinking, is that her husband's? Is that the guy that?
Oh my God.
She was she's like, I know it. And I was just like, okay, whatever works, as long as the kids are okay.
Oh my God. It's like there's that old joke of this 88-year-old couple goes to get a divorce. And the judge says, you've been married for 50 years. Why are you getting a divorce now? She goes, we wanted to wait until the kids died.
Oh God, that's horrible.
Now that they're gone, we can do what we want.
So the fans haven't changed, basically.
Yeah. No, I mean, daytime fans they're fantastic.
Here's a question. You mentioned people coming up to you, but now that your fans are coming up to you during the pandemic, how How do you handle that?
Well, they're not.
Oh, they're not? Oh, that's good.
Because we're not out. I mean, like, I'm not out. You know,
Yeah.
like, I mean, I'm out as a heterosexual, but I'm not out.
Yeah.
A minute, Michael.
Not quite as out as I'm out.
Yes, I know. So anyway,
It was in the closet that can hold me.
exactly. No, there's not. But we don't go anywhere, and so like I haven't like, and also when we do, we're like masked, glasses, sometimes I mean, like we're incognito, like even like I don't recognize people that I know that I like. Know.
Yeah.
So
they don't even know who you are with the mask.
Yeah,
and
who knows who you are. And what I will say is that like I'm not a huge social media person.
Right.
I should be a better one, but I'm not. But I will say that it has been kind of lovely to connect with people over social media, and and it's like I do like the aspect that it is kind of this instant conversation. And so daytime fans, we have a very intimate relationship with them because we've known them for decades, known. And they've
literally watched you grow up.
They literally watched me grow up. They have seen my character in her best moments and her worst moments and intimate moments. So we have a very kind of visceral relationship with our fans.
Yeah.
And I think it kind of moves both ways. They feel it that way about us and we feel that way about them. And so it's kind of a different thing. And I've been very moved by a lot of the responses I've had, online, and I've gotten to do some crazy stuff. So it's like, like color my hair online. Like that was special. But like, yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's like there were some soap stars that had surgery. It was on your show, first show. Jeannie, didn't she have surgery on camera? Jeannie Cooper?
A facelift. Yeah.
On camera.
On camera. It was very like ahead of their time. Like this was like in the 80s that they did that.
Wow. So, I had hair in the 80s. I had hair in the 80s.
Yeah.
Yeah. The 80s when sex was dirty and air was clean.
Yeah, I know. You keep telling that joke. Because the air was not clean in the 80s. The air is now. Sex might have been dirty, but it still is. I know. Anyway, I've known Michael for a long time, so I can criticize.
We've known each other. All right, Heather and I have known each other since she was 10 years old.
Yep. We have. Michael was a choreographer in a show that I did. Mm-hmm. And we always had a disagreement about what color spandex dance pants he was wearing.
They were blacks. I wear a black spandex pant with a red shirt.
Red with black leg warmers, and he swears, no, I would never.
They were black spandex pants, black capizios with red leg warmers and a red shirt. That was my audition uniform.
I beg to differ, but whatever. We'll
put up a picture later. I'll prove it.
So yes, I've known Michael since I was 10. I keep on saying. Anyway, I've known Max since I was 10.
Max is my stage name.
I cannot remember his name, but
you guys met in Seattle, right?
Yeah,
we did.
And he's the one who brought us all, my brother and sister and me, to Los Angeles, and we slept on his floor in his studio apartment.
Oh yeah,
with his
one room
and one room, and like my friend Sadie also stayed with us. There were 4 kids and a mother and Michael and Twinkle Toes, and
Hillary Swank almost moved in with us, but your mother put her foot down. She goes, "No more."
Yeah, it was amazing.
Hillary Swank was she would have had to sleep in the bathtub.
Yeah, it was such an adventure, and it was fantastic. So it's like and we came down for 3 weeks. We were only going to come for 3 weeks. At the end of 3 weeks, I had booked a guest star. My brother had booked a pilot, a play, and a commercial. Wow. And we were like, I guess we're staying. And by the time we finished all that, there wasn't really a house to go back to in Seattle, and so we were in Los Angeles, and the rest is, as they say, history.
Yeah, I became her father figure, which explains a lot.
Yeah, Michael's our father figure.
I
Oh, is he?
am. I walked her down the aisle when she got married.
Oh, did you?
Good. Yes, he
did.
did. And
Wow.
what's amazing is that, like, I have a son who I think is very heterosexual. Whatever, I don't care if he is or isn't. But
that boy is so heterosexual. But he loves he got his glove for jewelry for me.
And jewels, and he loves
the bling.
Like gold, his favorite color, and like so he like loves all this like fancy like.
He got the jewelry gene from me. He's straight, but he got the jewelry gene from me.
But his dad's in music, right? So
yes, but James is not flashy. You know,
No.
like Zane is downright.
James is cool and hip.
Yeah, like yeah.
Like,
so like I was given this like gold sequined mask that I was gonna give to Max, but like I was gonna, and it probably still will. But Zane's like, oh no, that's my mask, and he wears this like gold mask, and I'm like, you go, boy, like whatever it is you want.
That
like,
is amazing.
That's cool.
We have a picture of Zane. Put a picture. Can you put a picture up of Zane, Ryan? We have a cute picture of Zane.
Yeah, Ryan Armstrong.
There he is.
Our producer.
That's Zane in his uniform. Even when we did homeschool, he would put his uniform on every day. And his school, like the symbol of his school is a clover. And so we found
what are they? The fighting leprechauns? What are they?
Yeah, I don't know. But like, but we found this clover on because we hiked every day, and I just love that picture. It's like his
so cute.
He's
so adorable. Yeah,
he looks a lot. I see pictures of you and him when you were younger. You looked exactly alike.
Oh, he is my mini me. Like it's crazy.
It's
did I have anything to do with this child? Because he looks so much. He looked so much. The Tom jeans are very
strong.
Yeah. I will say though, he does have James's build. Like he is like he's like solid.
Yeah.
So, like totally has James's build, but he does look exactly.
And how old is he now?
Even in the womb, I would get these like 3D photos, and I'd be like, "Oh, here's my nose and my mouth." Even in the womb, I could tell. I was like, "Yeah," but
and now you're homeschooling him.
Kind of.
Oh,
yeah.
here we go.
Yeah, he's flashing. He's like Bowie.
Oh yeah, no, Zane.
Yeah, right. He's a glam rocker.
Yeah. Zane likes to dress up more than any kid I know. Like he loves a costume. He's like, I'm like today I'm a ninja. And so those are actually like vintage Mexican wrestling masks.
Right.
Wow.
And collects. And so he found them and he was like, these are the most amazing things I've ever seen. And so that is Captain Chaos.
Captain Chaos.
His Onyx homework. So it'd be like, well, he's like, I need to put a costume on to phonics, and I'm like,
whatever costume for phonics.
Like, yeah,
I love it.
Phonics homework there, and he, you know, it's actually, I will say that we're going back to remote learning next week, and no, this week, and we'll see how it goes. I'm happy with, you know, what the school has put forward, and we'll just like, what I will say is that he really flourished under the one-on-one. Like we were able to like be there and really kind of, like, you know, work through these things and expand on them. And, you know, he would find something in the lab that he was really into, and we'd be like, well, let's read about Zeus, you know, like he loves cool. Like, yeah, he loves incarceration. So I was let's read about Alcatraz. I'm like,
my gosh. Yeah, he's really into putting people in jail.
Yeah, loves it. Alcatraz was perfect because they were like, I now learned more about Alcatraz than I ever used to know. And there were like 3 escape attempts, and nobody thinks that any of them escaped, but maybe 2 of them did succeed. And they, I mean, some of these stories are crazy. Like I think 2 people actually really did succeed at escaping because they showed up at their mother's funeral, and there were these 2 tall women.
Oh my God!
Wow.
It's like some could haunt the Alcatraz version.
Yeah, no, like someone needs to make a movie about it.
Yeah,
so
this is great.
the stories are crazy. So, you know, we're able to kind of like expand on certain things, and we're just taking it one day at a time, just like everybody else.
So
And
do you think he likes costumes and stuff? Does he have like entertainment industry aspirations musically?
I hope he completely rebels and is just like, I want to. I mean, like, there's always need for dentists.
Oh God, not a dentist.
For real. I'm always like, my dad's a musician, my mother's an actress and a director. I'm like, I want to be a surgeon. And I'm like,
okay, now that's a surgeon's okay, but not a dentist.
Yeah, I don't care. Like, honestly,
why not a dentist?
No one likes going to the dentist.
They make a living. There's always
they do.
Yeah, there's always a need. They're always going to have work.
I've heard there's a high percentage of depression in dentists.
No.
Yes, because no one's excited to go to the dentist. I'll give you my dentist joke that explains it all. This woman goes to the dentist, and he's like, "We're gonna have to give you a root canal, and fill a cavity." And she's like, "Oh God, I'd rather have a baby." He goes, "Well, let me know because I got to fix the chair."
God. But I'm fine.
No. But I'm chink.
Yeah.
No, let's get back to comedy though for a second, because we were talking about directing, and you're known for doing so much dramatic work.
Oh yeah, she cries for a living.
But what's funny is that my best work, because I mean, I've actually like brought a lot of comedy to Bold and Beautiful.
Yeah.
And I feel like some of the best stuff that I've done on the show has been like more comedic. And then I've been directing nighttime.
Yeah.
I directed Good Trouble last year and an episode of Dynasty, and I'm going to go back and direct Good Trouble. And again, I was given these like kind of like crazy comedic musical. Both shows had musical numbers.
Wow.
And, I mean, I'm just like, wouldn't it be funny if I get like known for like directing comedy? I personally believe that like comedy and drama are they're the same.
They're very close.
Two sides of the same coin. And so it's like, because comedy has to be so invested. I feel like it's so much, for me, it's so much harder, but like you have to be so invested, and your stakes have to be so high.
The stakes are just higher. It's like the smallest thing becomes the most important thing. That's what makes comedy funny.
It's like, I feel like, even though I've been told my entire life that I'm not funny.
No, you are funny, but I
actually think I'm really funny.
You're funny if the script is funny. You're not goofy. You can't take a script with no jokes in it and make it funny because you're so odd. If it's in the script.
I do feel like I hear the rhythm.
Okay.
And so like I hear the rhythm, how it should be, how the rhythm should go. And so as a director, then I don't have to tell the joke. I can just try and find the rhythm. And so,
Well, speaking of that,
if you do like real dry humor, if it's real dry, kind of.
Well, speaking of that, you won Best Comedy Music Video in the Palm Springs Inaugural Comedy Festival.
So there you go.
And it was Bigfoot's Love Slave, and it was hilarious. But what drew you to that project? Actually, like, what made you feel like, oh, I'm going to direct this, and it's really, really going to be something different?
Partially my fault.
Yeah. Yes. Max wrote this really funny musical comedy theatrical show, and all of the songs are very, very cute, very tongue in cheek. And this one, and my husband did a lot of the
he produced it,
music, and so this one I was just and Max was like, well, why don't you shoot it? And I'm like, yeah. I mean, I was like looking for something to do for my reel that was a little bit different than the other short films that I had done. And I was like, oh, I can crack this out and we can do this. It'll be fun. We had like two wonderful actors. Alice
amazing.
Who's on
Alice Lee, who's in
is it Zoe's playlist?
Zoe's Extraordinary Playlist.
Yeah, and Darren, who's just like
Darren's a great Broadway guy. He was in.
Brought such like emotion to Bigfoot, which is crazy because he had these like crazy prosthetics on, and we shot it. We shot it in 16 hours. It was a very
great
day. But it was just kind of one of those things where we were like, well, why not? Let's just do it and let's have fun. And like, I was just like
something completely different that no one expects you to do.
Yeah, we can do whatever we want. And I also had like the location, because my friend has this amazing ranch and she let us shoot there. We never would have been able to do that without it, because like the location really was part of it. And I had a great crew, and
Nice.
Well, you got the makeup people from your show all pitched in. Everybody got really excited because it's so different than what they usually get to do.
Yeah, what I thought was funny is that like a lot of the crew didn't really know what they were signing on for. They were just like, okay, we're doing the lighting on this thing, or most I'd worked with before, but like some of them I hadn't, and so they were just like, okay, well, we're just here to do a job. And we started off with all of Alice's like singles of her singing the song, and they were all like, what the hell is this song? Like, what is she talking about? They're like, what is going on here? And then we shot Darren's part where he's doing this like dance break, which is like,
I love that.
And then they were like, oh, okay, game on. This is fun. We're gonna this is like crazy town. And so they suddenly were like, oh, okay, this is going to be a fun shoot. And it was a very long shoot, but it was a fun shoot. We had a good
Do we have a clip? I think we have a clip, right?
Yeah, it sneaks up on you. It sounds like a serious love ballad, and then you're like, what are they saying?
Yeah.
But Bo Cassidy, who is David Cassidy's son, wrote the music.
Oh, nice. Let's take a look. Do we have a clip, Ryan?
He drags me back to his dank cave. Thanks me if I misbehave. I love him, but I wish he'd shave. It's not a joke that so big. He's packing like a redwood, not a log or a branch or a stick or a twig. Too bad he looks just like a wig. But then he thrusts me once and I'm ready for a thing. I'm Bigfoot's love slave. He's a burly beast, I'll always say.
This is a good break.
Bigfoot's love slave. He's the only one big enough to fill my heart.
That was great.
It's fun. I mean, like, it's one of those things where like I send it to people and they're like, what the hell is
What's going on?
And, but then they're like this. And my thing is like I like real stories, and I like pretty. And so I felt like it looked really pretty. And I also felt like there was like a real connection between the characters.
Yeah.
It was a love story.
Oh, totally.
Like Beauty and the Beast.
Straight camp. And it could have just been like, oh, we're just getting, and it wasn't. It actually had, and I think that's why people actually like to watch it, because they get invested in these characters, and it's ridiculous. And it's totally ridiculous. So, yeah.
So did you grow up loving comedy right off the bat, or is this
comedy? That's so funny. I've made my entire living crying for a living. Do
you have like favorite shows or comedians that you love, or how does it make you feel when you watch comedy? What's
funny is that like during the pandemic, I have just done nothing but like I fall asleep to like stand-up comedy. Like, I need to like just turn my brain off and just be like mindless and like maybe make me laugh. And there are a couple specials that I've been watching that are hysterical, and it's just like it kind of is like just like this relief, like just saying like, oh, thank God, I'm not watching the news. I'm not watching some like people have like, binged all of these dramatic shows, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I just can't. I need to like just be like turn my brain off. Like the most traumatic that I have gotten is Dead to Me, which I love. But
I love that. Yeah,
it's a dark comedy.
Dark comedy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dark.
Christine Applegate.
Yeah, and so I've been just binging these stand-up routines.
Nice. Yeah.
Do you have a favorite?
I love Michael Burbage.
Oh yeah,
He's hysterical. He did.
I
This
saw him
show.
live on Broadway. He did his show on Broadway, and I saw it.
Did you see the new one? Yeah, that was on Broadway.
I saw it.
Where he talks about having a baby.
Yeah.
Oh my God. It's like I can watch it over and over again. It's
Oh wow.
hysterical. I think like it's because I also like oh my I can totally relate to this. But it's so funny. And then I watched Sarah Silverman. I think she's hysterical.
Oh,
like,
I love her. She's a genius.
When it's like Specks of Dust or something like that. And like
Oh God, I love her.
Yeah.
She's so irreverent. I love it.
And just
I
like
love
just reverent, but just like this with a sweet smile.
Yeah.
And and then Ricky Gervais, he had one at kind of the beginning of the pandemic where like he hadn't done it in so long. It's hysterical too. So but I'm just kind of go through and I go like, oh, let's see what this one is, and because I think Netflix is now like just putting like they're like, what do you got? We need content. You know?
Oh yeah.
Thought like they'll buy anything, and so it's just kind of like, well, let's see what's here. I don't like raunchy humor. I would say that like Sarah Silverman is like the raunchiest that I get.
Right.
And yet Heather and I are still friends.
Exactly.
Like soulmates.
Truly.
Yeah, but I love the suggestion of raunch. And so like I like
right. It's like a little under the surface.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you see yourself wanting to do more comedy work in the future, directorially or acting wise?
I'm kind of just I'm just open to my whole career I'm just a girl who can't say no. And so I just always tried to take whatever opportunity comes my way. Okay. And right now with directing on Bold or on, nighttime, primetime, television, I'm just open to whatever opportunities come my way. I feel like I have the chops to handle whatever. Mm-hmm. And, and what I don't really like to pigeonhole myself into any one tone, because I think that an honest performance is going to resonate with the audience. Yeah. And if an honest performance happens to be funny, and if it happens to be heartbreaking, great. And if it's both at the same time,
that's amazing.
Fantastic. Yeah. Like I'm just trying to find that honest performance and the truth and the heart of the material. And so that's my goal whenever I take really anything on. It's my goal when I act as well. Yeah. So, but it's just that's kind of my goal for anything.
What about theater? You said you started in theater. Do you have any desire to go back to the stage?
I would love to. I acted in a play. I honestly think it was like some of my best work when I was pregnant with Zane.
In New York, right?
No, it was here. It was at the Pasadena Play here. Okay. And, and it was one of the best experiences that I've ever had in my life. And it was the last show I did, and so it's been a while since I've been on the stage. But I was somebody who was really never not doing a play, or wanting to, or like really looking for that project. And so I would love to. It's just it's a lot of time. Yeah. And so it's finding that window where you can fit something like that in, and also, it's a lot of time. And
definitely, yeah. But if you had to, knowing that it's a lot of time, do you have like a dream role that you would like definitely want to make time for?
Well, I'm getting a little long in the tooth for this one, but I would love to play Maggie in kind of
okay.
roof. But I
Yeah.
don't know, I might be too old at this point.
No, you can do it.
No.
I
No.
might be too
If the theater's big enough, you can do anything.
Yeah.
exactly. No way.
You look
Well,
more.
no.
Social distance audience. The audience has to be at least 6 feet
Yeah.
away. You're good.
And like,
You're
and
good.
most people are old who go to the theater too, so they can't really see. So yeah,
Right?
right, yeah.
We stick the blue hairs in the front row. Everyone else a little further back.
No, you look fantastic.
You could do You could still do Maggie. You could do Maggie.
I mean, that was always a dream. Like I said, I think that I might be a little too old. But hey, you know what? If I'm too old for Maggie, then Blanche is right around the corner.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm a little young for Blanche.
Yeah.
A little young.
But actually, only a
They
little.
can make you look older though. Stage makeup, right?
Yeah.
Well, only
She did
a
Marilyn
little.
Monroe. She did an amazing Marilyn Monroe.
Right. Wow, really?
Fun
Oh,
playing.
yeah.
It was fun. Yes. It was
Yeah, you have her facial structure.
Thank you for saying that.
Yeah.
I don't have her hair
her
right now,
body.
although I
She's
do
got
when I put her.
But when I met
Yeah.
you were more blonde. But you
I
were
was
like,
platinum.
yeah.
I had white highlights.
Oh,
I actually
wow.
can't really imagine myself like that now. I
Yeah.
look back on some of the photos and I'm like, I don't know if it's such a good look. Like I kind of, I feel like this suits me. And although the gray is just a real bummer. I mean, I'm just like, it's a real bummer. I think that
I don't want any complaints.
I think if it was blonde, it'd be bad. But like, yeah.
I think you look good both. I think you look good as a blonde and as a brunette. I think you look both.
Yeah.
You look good with both.
That's very
Not a lot of people look as good with both, but I think you do.
Yeah.
For sure.
You can pull it off.
Yeah, this is what we're getting for the future. Even though I'm gonna have to douse my head in dye like every 2 weeks.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's ugly. There's not enough mascara in the world to cover it up. So it's like, yeah.
Oh, my God.
They have that spray stuff now. You could just get your root.
The spray, but honestly, like once it like bleeds down into here, it's like this. You can't use the spray anymore. It's like the spray is just for like some little roots. I'm just like, yeah.
But you have a little. You have a little red in the brown, right?
Not naturally.
No, but it looks great. I mean, right now it's looking a little kind of reddish brown.
It's a little, it has a little
Chestnut.
warmth that was added to it. Yeah.
Yeah, I like it. Yeah, definitely. So, what can we expect next from you?
I'm directing a Good Trouble episode in October. Where I am, and
I think the new maybe I shouldn't say what the new storyline is. I don't know if I'm allowed to say.
Yeah,
but it involves comedy. There's comedy.
Nice.
That's all I'm going to say. There's comedy
in my new line.
Well, just the new storyline on Good Trouble has comedy in it. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to give anything away.
So yes, I've got Good Trouble, and then we're shooting.
Nice. That sounds fun.
Right now, I think that will probably be our title as we go
Nice.
forward. But so it should be fun, and it'll be like I'm just like, what do you like?
Well, and you've written some stuff too. You've got a Christmas movie, and you've got a TV series you developed.
We're pitching a pilot, and we've also got a Christmas movie, and then I'm kind of doing notes and rewriting another movie that's kind of more of a family fantasy type film. So
wow, you're covering all the bases.
Just trying to keep busy.
Yeah. And for those of the viewers out there that are watching, you might have some questions for Heather regarding directing in the pandemic. She's going to be a panelist on the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival with doing a Q&A. So
details on how you can create content in the pandemic.
Yeah. So you guys could check that out. Go to the psicf.org website and check for dates and when that's going to be available. And Heather's going to come on and talk about directing in the pandemic and give you more insight into that. And wow, it's been great talking to you and catching up with you. I haven't seen you in years, but
No.
Before we go, Heather, do you have a favorite joke? I ask everyone to tell me their favorite joke.
Okay, well, this is I can't really tell any jokes that that aren't dirty.
Oh, the dirty's okay.
bring it.
I know, but see, so this is being recorded and it could come back and bite me.
Oh well, yeah. There is the cancel culture now.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
So
But
I'm
that's
going to tell you Zane's favorite joke.
Okay.
Okay, so this is Zane's favorite joke, and he thinks it's hysterical. He said, "What kind of bees make milk?
what kind?
Boobies."
Okay. Well, we have a stand-up comedian in the
already
making.
into potty humor.
Yeah.
That boy is definitely a heterosexual.
Yes,
He's gonna grow up to be a stand-up, and then
Could you see that?
Yeah.
Oh,
He
that'd be
can
amazing.
tell that joke to anyone who will listen. So yeah.
That's
It's a funny joke.
hysterical.
he could go on the Mass Comic with one of those. Mass,
7-year-old, like a 7-year-old's mouth. It's pretty funny.
yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Oh
awesome.
my God. I was trying to teach him knock jokes. He didn't quite. He liked it, but he would just go like knock. I said, "Who's there?" He goes, "Orange." I said, "Orange shoe." He said, "Bananas." Okay.
Okay.
All right.
We're working on the timing and all that, but
Yeah, he's working it out. He's
We'll
working
get
it
there.
out.
We'll get there.
I don't need him to get really great at this. I'm really like pushing for the dentistry and like maybe like
Dietary.
open heart surgeon, whatever.
Yeah.
You know,
All right.
Lawyer.
Open heart surgery. That sounds stressful, though.
I know,
Yeah.
and so expensive.
Yeah,
So
yeah, definitely.
anyway, thank
Thank
you
you
guys.
so much, Heather.
Before you leave, can fans keep up with you somewhere? Do you have like some social media?
Oh, thank you. That's right. I
Yeah.
should tell you about my social media handles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not great at this. Okay, so I'm at BB Heather Tom for Instagram and Twitter. So at BB Heather Tom.
Nice. Great.
Yes.
Awesome.
Follow me. I respond. I love talking to my fans. Or
Awesome.
anybody who has an opinion about anything, and all opinions are welcome.
Nice. Well, that's an exception in Hollywood. So
They say opinions are like assholes. Everyone's got one.
yeah.
So
All
much
right.
for clean jokes.
So much. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for joining us,
Thank you so
Heather. It
much,
was great
Heather.
talking to you.
Mwah.
And we'll see you at the Palm Springs International Comedy Festival
Yes.
Q&A.
October
running
11th through the 18th.
Yeah, October 11th through the 18th. And you guys check out Bold and the Beautiful and go join Heather's social media. And also, look for her directing Good Trouble,
Good trouble.
among other things.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks. Bye.